YouTube, Supernova again. Back with the Nissan 350Z project, part 2 of the clutch problem. If you're looking for part 1, look for my video, the last video I made about the clutch went out on me. But just to brief y'all on it, Joe just called to work one Friday morning and went to go shift from 5th to 6th, and clutch went to the floor, didn't come back up, gave it gas, still had power, so that told me that the slave cylinder or the master cylinder was bad. Changed them both, blew them the first 2 times because I had to adjust the pedal, so I had to bleed it twice. First 2 times worked. Went to go do it the 3rd time, adjusted it out too far, was not letting the clutch engage, and I had to relieve the pressure again, and I fought with it for 5 days. Went to go load up on a trailer to haul the Nissan so I can put a pressurized system on it to try to bleed it, and it had a vibration, so I dropped the transmission. It's sitting over there. That's it right there. Drop the transmission, drive shaft. Come to find out, the clutch was disintegrated. I do not have the clutch with me. Apparently, it was made of nothing but insulation and fiberglass because it had all that itchy crap all over me. Had to take a shower, so I got rid of the clutch friction plate. I also got rid of that annoying freaking dual mass flywheel. So next time I shut this car off, I want to hear that rattling noise like you would on a tractor. But if y'all want to see the video that I made about the friction disc, y'all need to see it because it is so messed up. It is unreal. The material actually separated itself from the disc. How the hell does that happen? I don't know. The only explanation I have for that is a word that starts with a D, and that's Duralast. And yes, in case you're wondering, I do have a Duralast creeper, and even that thing is junk. Because I mean, I only weigh 200 pounds, and then split the plastic. The wheels come out way like that. They don't roll. Look, it's all broke right there. Even their creepers are junk. I think the only thing useful I found was the sockets and the certain tools, but Harbor Freight Special Pittsburgh works just fine for me. That being said, I did tell you I was gonna make another video when I get my clutch kit in. It finally came in. What was I doing between now and then besides working? Watching this other guy on video. I think it's funny as hell. Y'all need to go check him out. His name is I think his YouTube channel name is Turner versus Muscle. It's funny as hell. He took his street bike, for instance, and this is a 1000, but just pretend that this is a 600. It was a Suzuki Katana. I don't know what kind of bike it was. It was an ugly ass bike, but it was a 600. It had a 600 sticker. He said that the 600 sticker means 600 horses, like 600 horsepower. And he said he upgraded the brakes to the dual piston caliper so he can lift the back wheel up off the ground and do pop wheelies or whatever. And then see what else he said. He said his speedometer, it only went up to 150, but he said it'll do a full 360 twice. So actually the 150 meant 300 miles an hour. And then what other stupid stuff did he say he did? Oh, he has some back turn signals hanging right here, and he said that he modified those to reflect radars, so cops wouldn't catch him going down the road real fast. I thought it was funny as hell. Y'all need to go check him out. The videos he makes, he's not serious. He's just, you know, being funny, being a smart ass. But you would think he's serious because he keeps such a serious face. But anyway, yeah, go check him out. His page name is Muscle vs. Tanner. Go check him out. His videos are real funny. Anyway, back to the Nissan. Clutch kit finally came in. I just want to show y'all what I got. First off, y'all will run into this problem. I looked and looked and looked and looked, could not find a YouTube video on how to remove these pilot bushings out of the crankshaft, because these are not into the flywheel, they're in the crankshaft itself. So you gotta remove them. This is the new one that came with the clutch kit. I don't know what kind of material it's made of. It didn't say, but anyway, this is the old one. You have to get it's called a pilot bearing puller extractor. That's the part number 27059. Okay, get one of these. They only cost me 15 bucks. That's what they look like. You can rent one from AutoZone, but I just went ahead and bought one, because I mean, for $15 you really can't complain. Let's see if I can get this off of here. Alright. Well, it has this little rubber band type deal. You screw this in like that. Alright, once you get it in there, and what it does, it expands these little forks around the pilot bushing. And let's see if I can set y'all up right here. Okay. What it does, you got these little forks that spread out. Alright, you get it inside there, the pilot bushing. You might have to loosen it up like that. Work it in there, okay? You get it in there like that. You screw it in, okay? Until it gets, just do it as tight as you can get it. And it'll get a bite on the bushing like that. You screw a slide hammer into here. You slide it out and it'll pull it out slowly. That's the hard part. You use a socket about the same size as this to press this one in. I hadn't done it yet because I wanted to show y'all an easy way of pulling these things out. I've seen people use grease, wet paper, even bread, and they just sit there for hours trying to extract the damn thing. They just keep hammering bread in the damn crank. No, do it the professional way. Go to AutoZone, get you one of these. It's part number 27059. Okay. Now with the Nissans 350Z especially, I had to modify this one. Alright, it's only $15. I had to get me a die grinder, which is this thing right here, the only grinding tool that I have. Alright, and I had to grind these little nubs right here until they was able to fit in here. Now I had to loosen this up, kind of work it in there, but I was able to get it in there like that and then extract it out. Okay, and get you one of these and a slide hammer. You can rent one for about, I don't know, $45. This is what I had to use. Get your electric grinder if you can get one. Go to Harbor Freight, whatever, because that thing sucks air from my air tank. I had to shut it down for a few times to let my air compressor cool, even though it's old. It's an old compressor. I also got me a K&N filter, since I'm gonna be spinning this thing high RPM, high flow filter. And this is a slide hammer I bought from AutoZone, or rented, I should say. Get that in there. Okay, on to the clutch. Alright, this is the solid single mass steel flywheel I ordered. So no more of that dual mass crap. This flywheel is a whole hell of a lot cheaper than buying a new dual mass. I paid $265 for this. I can't remember the website. It was Light Motorsports or Light Racing. I can't remember the website, but I shopped around. It took me a few minutes, but I finally found one. $265 for a brand new single mass flywheel. Comes with your little sensors, your little deals for your crank sensor. Got fresh teeth, you know, for your starter. It's got the little mark, so you align it right. It's a good flywheel, and it's actually lighter in your dual mass. When I picked up that dual mass flywheel, it weighed just as much as a torque converter off an automatic transmission. Why did Nissan do that? I don't know. Clutch friction disc. This is a 6-spring ceramic 6-puck disc. If y'all know, ceramic does not wear out near as quick as organic material. I kind of figured it's not as thick as I thought it would be, but then again, this is ceramic, not organic, so they might do that on purpose. It's got 6 dampening springs instead of 4, like most of them. This is the high torque pressure plate that came with it. So, and the people I got it from was Impact Clutch Systems. I got it on Rock Auto. Upgrade clutch kit, high torque, 6-puck ceramic disc. So it should hold up to the nitrous I'm gonna put to it, which if y'all want to see that, talked about in my last video. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. I might put in the transmission tonight, I might not. Just depends on what mood I'm in once I get it in, or how late it is. But there it is. Got the flywheel. Also, I already got my new throwout bearing and my splines greased up. I don't know if you can see it. That's a new throwout bearing right there. The other one was kind of wore out pretty much. So the type of grease that they send you with this clutch kit is see if I can get the camera to focus. It's HD heavy duty brake and clutch lubricant. Ceram Lube can withstand 2800 degrees. It is a Swiss ceramic formula, and this stuff goes a long way. I mean, I kind of overdid my splines right here, but I was still able to do the pilot bearing shaft, the little pin back here for your throwout bearing arm, the little shaft for the pilot bearing to slide on. I even greased the pilot bearing itself, you know, just to give it a little less wear and tear and friction. But that's some good stuff, and it goes a long way, let me tell you. So, and of course, the clutch kit does send you with an alignment tool. Sends you with the pilot bushing. I showed it to you. And it comes with a new throwout bearing, which is already on the transmission. So I did order a rear main seal set to replace, because anytime I drop a transmission, you might as well replace your rear main seal since you already got it apart. But on this car, you have to drop the oil pan in order to change it. So I'm not gonna worry about that. It's not leaking. so I'm not gonna mess with it. But just want to show y'all the clutch. I think that's it. Now I'm fixing to put this in. Now the fun begins. Alright, I just installed the single mass flywheel. I had 8 flywheel bolts. That's the little hole that lines up with the pin. So flywheel will line up right with the crankshaft. Because of course, not only you got balance, but you got these little notches for your crank sensor, which goes here. Just to give y'all a couple tips, I used a 14mm 3/8 deep socket to press in the new pilot bushing into here. There is a lip inside the crank that'll stop you from going too far, because if you stick your pinky in there, you can feel that there's still a little space in between the bottom part and the actual pilot bushing. So when you go to extract it, you can get that tool in there. Alright, now if you want to know what size you need to remove these flywheel bolts, it's going to be a T55 Torx bit, and I used an Impact Torx bit. Yes, it's Duralast, because I went in there to get some brake fluid, and they had these impact sockets. T55 Torx bit, very tight fit, and that's what I used. Also, I used it with a 3/8 reducer, worked just fine. Pull them right out. Air impact or electric impact, whichever one. Also, I do not have the tool to lock the flywheel, nor do I have a torque wrench. So what I did was I took my impact, I put it on number 1 setting, and I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and I went 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the way I did it. And I also used red, what you call that, red thread locker. It's high strength. They will not back out. I've used this on another flywheel and spin the hell out of the motor, and hasn't failed yet. So, but anyway, yeah, I use red thread locker for the flywheel bolts. If you do have a torque wrench and some way of locking the flywheel, do so. That's the best way to do it. But I don't have that, so I just went on ahead with that. Also, what you want to do is, after you do that, get the flywheel installed, you want to wipe this whole surface with alcohol, brake cleaner, parts cleaner, or whatever you prefer. I'm going to use alcohol because it dries quick, and I know alcohol and a clean rag and it'll get all that stuff off. So next step, I'm fixing to install the clutch and the pressure plate. Alright, had to finagle with it, had to play with it a little bit, but I finally got it on there. The clutch alignment tool, which comes with your kit, so what you use to slide in the splines, and you put it in the pilot bush and align your clutch up. And then once you do that, you put your pressure plate on, bolt it up, torque it down, and then that's when you remove this. That way, so you don't play hell trying to put the transmission in. I had to kind of shave this alignment tool a little bit, because most Japanese cars, or all Japanese cars I know of, use a forged steel crank so it does not give whatsoever. So apparently when I pressed the pilot bushing in, it kind of shrunk. So therefore it was hard for me to get the alignment tool to go in, so I had to work it a little bit, use some penetrating lube, work it, try to shave some of the plastic off, let it take shape. Then you take the alignment tool out, you clean inside the pilot bushing, and you wipe off the excess plastic shavings off the alignment tool, slide it, kind of work it some more, get it clean, then put a little bit of lube on it, grease or whatever on the end of it, put it inside your clutch disc, and then slide it on there. So then once you hold that, you put your pressure plate on. Alright, I finally got the pressure plate installed. Of course, what you want to do with the alignment tool is kind of work it in and out. Make sure you can slide it in and out of that pilot bushing, and then you can just pull it on out. And I guess then, well, don't do it till after you torque all your clutch bolts up. But once you get all that done, then you're ready to put the transmission back in. So now the real fun begins, because these Nissan transmissions are not light. So, but once you pull the once you go put the transmission in, you just do all your flywheel bolts. You got a lot to go in this way, you got a lot to go in from the other side. Like some of these bottom bolts, they go from the engine side, and some of the top bolts, they go from the transmission side. So just take your time with it. These two bolts up here and this one right there, I had to get from the top, which is not that hard. This one and the rest of them I was able to get from down here. When I went to go pull the transmission out, I had one hiding from me. I think it was one that went right here. That was the one that was hiding from me. I had trouble trying to get the transmission to come out. So once I get it back in, I don't know if it'll be tonight, probably tomorrow, because I am kind of tired. Once I get the transmission in, I'll make another video. Till then, God bless. Peace out.